Taking it, bitch, just stay in the town. I'm on the edge, I ain't coming down. I get too high, I'm afraid of the ground. I'm young and I'm paid to play with these sounds. Ignoring the call, she shutting that gown. Started the top, and I'm taking it down off the champagne. Took a break from the brown on a rampage. I've been giving it brown. Shawty been solid some time now. I'm my life for the wine, dine, and I'm with it. Look where we started and look where we at. I can see where we headed, but I can't see me finish. 3 years ago, I was down on my last. Was stuck at the crib, I couldn't get out of my bed. Then I realized it's all in my head, and I can't go back to the past, yeah. Except now I'm moving, put all in the music for more like a movement is brewing. I cannot picture us losing. I'm sharp when I shoot it, the world is my tutor. She wanna lip lock in public, but know that I'm published, we settle for safety. Not in the street, but I'm on the same muscle, that schedule been driving her crazy. They talk like they know me, but know that they bluffing unless it's somebody that pays me. Keep minding your business, the money been printed, my nigga just gotta go get it. I'm in the zone through the winter. I'm trying to see Rome, see Venice. I'm at the summit, I'm thumbing my budget, my nigga. It's nothing, just part of my. I need a minute. I know they live it, admit it, I'm teeter. Little baby, she a teaser. Tell her to follow the leader. I put that weight on my shoulder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. This is my little sister, Shushu, and we have a very special guest tonight,
Hola.
the real Precious.
Hola, hola, buenas noches.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
I'm glad to see y'all in good spirits. I read the CPI inflation report today.
Huh?
I said I'm glad to see y'all in good spirits.
You saw the inflation.
Yeah, I read that inflation report today.
God, yeah,
That bring your spirits down a bit.
It's a sad state of affairs over there, Precious. Everybody finna be bro. It's like this. The numbers, that's not supposed to happen.
right.
That's how I know we're really in trouble. Like, okay, I'll explain to you later. But it's weird stuff that like the mechanics of economics don't work that way. They don't.
No, well, something ain't working because all these banks going under.
I would say, like,
Wow,
it's the equivalent of a human being walking on air. Like, that's just as much as you break the laws of physics doing that. That's how broke this is. I was like, all right. Anyway, thank you. I'm glad to see y'all. I'm glad to see y'all in a good mood tonight.
Right.
Who we got in the chat? Oh, Real Precious in the chat. Hey, Real Precious, how you doing?
Hola.
Lady Navoa, how you doing? We got some new people.
Tarika, we got some Tarika in the chat.
Yeah. Who is Smooth
Smooth Sailing. Hola,
Yeah.
Smooth Sailing.
New people in here. I don't know who he is.
Well, you know, when you connect, you connected with me, which means you connected with my people.
That's
I
right.
heard that.
That's right.
I heard that. Bring your people over. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with networking.
Nope.
Corey Hager.
Corey. Hola.
Corey's a mess. Corey's a mess.
Corey is not a mess.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Look, I love Corey. I do. In fact,
Corey
I like Corey so much that if I'm on the air and I don't see Corey in the chat, he's one of the people like Lady Navoa. It just feels off.
Right. Right.
Yeah, if you don't see
He has
Lady
a good
Navoa,
presence. I would say he has a good presence.
yeah, if I don't see Corey in my chat or Lady Navoa, it's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All
What's
right.
going on, everybody? Who else we at?
Somebody named Edward Gilbert.
Hi, Edward. How are you?
Hello, panel in chat. Who is THPP Network? Who are those people?
They
You know
got
them?
one. Okay.
I don't know if it has the circle thing with the line in the middle. That means that they're watching from either my Facebook or my YouTube. Shushu, are you streaming as well?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, if it has that little circle thing.
Okay, good to know. I haven't done
Yeah.
this before. It's the first time for me.
Okay, well, there's a first time for everything.
Isn't it?
Right.
Yes,
right.
it is. We'll get to that. Now.
Oh, wait. I thought I saw Dusto in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah, I think I saw him too. Hey,
What's
Scam.
going on? So as people are rolling in, you know what I'm saying?
What? Ask Albert. Ask Edward Gilbert why he got a picture of somebody dressed like Goku with a bald head. I can't make that out.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Edward doesn't have that circle thing, so maybe he's not. I don't know. I think I've seen that name before though.
Fair enough. Hello, Teresa Smith. How you doing? All right. So tonight's topic: you get what you negotiate, ladies. And here's what I learned from my observation: people are terrible at negotiating.
Very.
Yeah.
They either don't negotiate enough, or they ask for too much. There's no happy medium.
Right.
Negotiations are supposed to be give and take. You know, if you're not compromising, you're not negotiating. You're dictating.
That's true.
This is true.
And every relationship, you must compromise. It's an absolute must. Otherwise, it's not a relationship.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, question I got for y'all. And we'll start with you, Shu. When it comes to this is your topic. You did it.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Don't get mad at me later.
Please.
Don't get mad. All right. Look,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to negotiating, what are we supposed to be negotiating? Like, what terms do we put on the table?
Well, number one, it depends on like what it is you're trying to come to an agreement on. What are you trying to get accomplished? You know, I want something and the other person wants something. So how do we come to a common ground?
Well, it's a guy. You know what he wants.
No, that's not always true.
Really? Not always.
Well,
that's
no.
not
Because I'm saying it's other things like, you know, in a relationship, maybe whatever his needs are that aren't being met. Like, you know, how do I get what I need out of this relationship? How do I get what I want?
Yeah, that's true.
But like if you just looking at it just from your perspective, you know, just me, then you're never gonna get anything you want or need out of a relationship.
This is true.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, so
wait. Let I guess answer before you do that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you go first.
Don't be rude.
What if she wasn't done?
She
It sounded like she was.
No, because I have like 3 videos that
right
after Precious responds. It's from hostage negotiator. Why can I talk tonight? Chris Voss. He wrote a book called Never Split the Difference, and he actually goes all around the world coaching and he teaches like CEOs and like business people on strategies on how to negotiate deals. And these strategies are also can be used just in everyday life. I learned about him through y'all ever heard of Masterclass? Like they have them different like courses and stuff like that you can take. So he has a course on Masterclass, and it is awesome. Like, he gives you different exercises and stuff like that to use, like that you can put into practice. And like I'm talking about like just in everyday life, like if you go to Starbucks at the counter, like talking to the cashier, like, you know, how to get discounts and stuff like that, and how to get this all kind of stuff. Because he was saying,
you don't want to pay.
You want to know it though? You want to know it though? Hey, you want to know it though? It works. It works. It's good practice.
You know who does that a lot? And I only know this because I'm in sales. Indians.
Yes, Indians, they do. They barter all the time. They barter all the time.
When I worked for Macy's back in the day, I saw that like Chinese people do it. Africans. There are people who definitely are master negotiators on everything.
Well, Africans, I wouldn't say masters.
Well, they're very aggressive. They're aggressive.
They are aggressive. But
you know, a certain, like I said, I'm in sales. So, you know, when you're trying to sell and create these relationships with people, you see who's who real quick.
Yeah.
I also noticed that it's a regional thing. Like where Shu and I are from, they don't negotiate. They don't even try to negotiate down here. They don't even make an attempt. It's probably because they know that, you know, this place is run by rednecks and they're not hearing it. You're gonna pay my price. Period. In fact, since you tried, you're gonna pay more. Like that's their thing. That's their thing.
You got to try kind of change the scope of what you consider a negotiation.
Yeah.
Because like, and especially after taking his master class, he was like, you know, if you just look at the trailer, he was like, you know, everything we do in life is a negotiation. He was like, when you cross the street, it's a negotiation. He was like, you know, you go to the store, it's a negotiation. He was like, in every aspect of our lives, you find yourself in a negotiation. We don't look at it that way. But
yeah, I mean, it's simple decision making. You
Yep.
know, and simple decision making will have you negotiating every single thing in your life. But like Shushu was saying, people don't look at it that way because, you know, they just don't get that deep, you know, into life and really what it is all about.
So my question remains, Precious. I want to do that so bad. You know what I'm talking about? I'll tell you later. Anyway,
right.
Right.
I
want to stay with an inside joke, an inside story, just the inside scoop, and everybody on the outside be like, "Huh?"
Well, here's the thing: she knows, and that's all.
I know.
That's all. Hey, I can bring you into the fold if you like. That way you know what I'm talking about when you
No. Every time he said the word Precious, he thinking Lord of the Rings.
Gollum, you know, because I do that to my cat and she freaks out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
you have a cat?
Yeah. Hey, I found her outside when she was a kitten.
And she mean too.
She's not. She just don't.
I have a permanent scar in my hand from a cat. I don't do cats.
Oh, this is all right. She don't do people either. Don't worry about it. Y'all stay away from me. Yeah, y'all will stay away from each other. But okay.
What's your question?
So my question is, when it comes to relationships, dating, marriage, the whole nine, I mean, what's the negotiation about? You know, what are you putting on the table? What are you offering? What are you looking for? That whole thing. If there's a negotiation to be had there.
Negotiations and relationships. For one, you have to know yourself. Right. And so once you know yourself, you know your boundaries, you know what you're not going to tolerate, what you're maybe willing to tolerate. And then once you get into a relationship, the negotiation is really about being able to, you know, being in a relationship is like a dance. So the negotiation is, you know, when I step forward, are you going to step back and vice versa? But I think that it's so broad to actually say because it's really between the two people that, you know, it's between. So it's up to those two people and what they naturally want, you know, for their lives together. So, you know, if it's a long distance type of thing, you know, who's moving where? How often are we seeing each other? You know, who's doing what, who's flying where, who's, you know, those small negotiations up front lead to the big negotiations, because by the time you get married, you should be set in how you want to run your relationship and how you want to, you know, how you want it to flow. So I think a lot of those negotiations come up in the courting stage.
Okay, yeah, that's makes a little sense. Fair enough. And by the way, the cat ain't mean. She just don't like people. She stay away from y'all. Cats sense evil.
No.
That's why when you come over.
That thing is rude. She funny acting. She ain't got no home training. You just let her do what she
Yes, she does.
I remember one time we were going into my friend's house and she you know was like, "Oh, can you open the door?" She had all these bags in her hand. I was like, "Yeah, sure." Go in the house, it's dark. This cat just fumed like right across my face. I said, "See, why ain't you warn me?" See, us black folks, we like to be warned. Do you have any cats? Do you have any dogs? You know.
Here's the thing. What's the point? Even when you warn you still get pissed off.
Yeah, but at least you know you're gonna be
right. You prepared.
You're trying to get mentally prepared. Yeah.
Right.
When you don't know, you could damn near have a heart attack trying to survive going into somebody's house. You don't know they got that.
That's true. Okay, now how can y'all don't complain when y'all go into somebody's place and it's just filthy? Okay, and notice those are the first people to offer you something to eat.
The last time I've been to somebody's house that was filthy.
Listen,
see, I don't go see people like that. So
I don't either. And this is one of the reasons why. Okay, because they're the first ones up. You want something to eat? No, thank you.
Right.
You good? Yeah, you know what? I just ate.
Right. I just ate.
Your stomach surely is growing.
I ain't gonna stay too long. I just
right.
Say hi. That's it.
All right, back on topic. Let's stay back on topic. Okay. Yeah. What's his name? The guy?
Chris Voss.
Chris Voss. He has some videos for us to see.
Never Split the Difference, and he puts like these techniques and strategies in the book also to help you make better negotiations in your life, just better decisions and choices. So we're going to go to the first video, and it's 3 simple points that he makes, but like if you guys get a chance, like definitely look him up because he goes more and more in depth. He has different interviews that he does, and he talks about just different strategies and stuff like that. It's just, I'm telling you, it's awesome. And before admin, you pulled it up, I do want to make a disclaimer: fair use. We are using this footage. It's short, but we are using this footage for educational purposes. So with that being said, admin, you can bring
I'm sorry. Before are you saying Chris Voss, Voss, like the water?
Yes.
Voss. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that successful negotiations are successful because of logic or arguments or reason or compromise, you're losing money. You're leaving millions of dollars on the table. And over the course of a lifetime, that could be true for everybody. Tactically, emotional, intelligent negotiation is the way you make great deals and the way you have great long-term relationships. And sometimes they miss that and they think that the problem is the person across the table. And that's why oftentimes people think of it as conflict and actually treat it as conflict. Negotiation is really about what people are making decisions based on what they care about, what's your passions. Every decision you make based on what you care about, which I'm afraid that by definition, that makes decision-making an emotional process. First of all, understanding where the other side's coming from, and especially emotionally, and then being able to feed it back to them in a way that they signal to you that you've got it right. Understand and demonstrate that understanding. There are a lot of negotiators that really will give in on a deal because being understood is more important than getting what they want. So once we completely understand where somebody's coming from, then with tactical empathy, we get a much better feel for exactly how they feel about things, how that drives them, and then how we can interact with the things that are driving them.
He spoke a word there. Mm-hmm. That answers a big. Dustin and I were talking, and y'all should listen to that guy a lot more. I'm talking to people in the audience. Seriously. Yeah. He Dusto, Scam Likely.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. Like, what negotiation is all about is really, you need to find out how that guy feels about the situation and feels about what they want.
Yeah.
It's about feeling, and you can't do that without emotional intelligence. You know, my negotiations skills came on a geopolitical scale. I didn't have to use it with person to person, relationships and stuff like that. So, but it's still, the principle still remains. He's right about that. A person would rather feel understood before they get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So when you talk to someone, fellas, you're courting a lady, and she's telling you the things that she's looking for in a relationship, number one, find out why she wants those things. Number two, find out how does that make her feel. How she feels right now. How would she feel if she had all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the feelings part of it is usually not talked about. You can probably sometimes sense it or assume or go off of nonverbal communication. But when you actually speak the truth about how you feel about certain things, then there's no room for assumptions, and you can get your negotiations met easier. The negotiation would be a lot more harmless because you're being honest. You know, you're being truthful about those feelings instead of skating around them, or you know how they say, oh, you coming in here slamming the cabinets. It's like, no, just say how you feel.
Right.
You know, instead of doing all the extras, because doing all the extras just adds to not being able to say how you feel, and then the negotiation lasts longer, drawn out, you maybe never get to it. So feelings is, I'm telling you, people won't allow their feelings to come past their lips. They won't say the things that scare them. They won't say it even though it might make them tremble or cry or voice crack. You have to get past that. And I'm only saying it because there are things in my life like foster care and adoption that forced me to do that. And so I can stand strong in my convictions and in my feelings because I've had practice with facing it. I've had practice with talking about it. So that, like he said, getting understanding is huge for the negotiation process and knowing how it drives someone. Because if you don't know what drives somebody, you could be running in circles and not even know and realize it.
Right. And you know, understanding a person's like where they coming from, their perspective, their side, helps you understand how to navigate, how to move there, how to move forward, even how to approach it. And just like it was, I'm so glad you said that 2 questions about the things that people don't say. And he even has strategies, and he's going to talk about that in the second video, about how to tap into people's emotions, like reading their body language, and how to bring that out of people. Because a lot of times when people go into negotiations, or they're you know coming to the table, like to come to some kind of agreement, there are a lot of things that people don't say. You know what I'm saying? And it's really the things that they're not saying that you're trying to get out of them. And you know, it's best to, you know, it would seem more practical just to outright and ask, like, hey,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, even if you outright and ask, people get defensive and they still won't just say what it really is.
Yeah, I have a question, ladies. Since I got 2 ladies.
That would make things a lot easier. But, you know, instead, you kind of got to fish it out of people. You know, and there is a way to do that.
Okay, cool. But now I got 2 ladies here on the panel. Help me understand this, because it does get to a point where you get to the point where you're trying to pull it out of someone. It's not working. And you try everything that you can imagine. You ask other people for advice, how to do this. Competent people, not idiots. And then nothing. So you flat out ask them, what's with the defensive stuff? Because there are a lot of guys out there who run into this problem. I've run into this problem myself before. Still not fully understanding. I know they're going through whatever they're going through emotionally, but I mean, what's the play here?
So you just come out and ask what's about this defensive stuff?
No, eventually, like I'm asking you guys, like, why do people get defensive about something against someone who only has their best interest? You know, it's a lot. Like, I understand why people don't want their parents involved and they hide things from their parents. It's a different story when it's a significant other, you know, a person you're in love with and they're in love with you, a spouse, perhaps, you know. So it's a different story when it's in that context. And it's a person that, say you want that person to know everything about you. Why get defensive? And when that person asks you flat out, hey, I see that there's something going on here and it's interfering with our relationship. What is that? You know what I'm saying? And I notice you do this, you do that sometimes. And these, you know, and this person spells it out. Why do people get defensive? And then they clam up even more.
The truth hurts sometimes.
Yeah. And it like you were saying, it's fear. Fear that, you know, they're not going to understand. Fear that, you know, their feelings might get hurt in the process. And a lot of that is that just what it is, fear that you know, I don't know, maybe it may come off the wrong way, or maybe you'll look foolish. You know, fear stops a lot of people from doing
a lot of things. That's true.
In life.
That's true. Fear stops you from doing a lot of things. Like there's things I've done that no one knows about, but if you were to ask me, I would tell you.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, look, hey, look, don't judge me. But I'd flat out tell you, no matter how good or bad it was.
Right.
But I understand why people don't come out and openly say things, because like, what's the point? So like that I get. But when someone's specifically asking, that's where I, you know, for me it goes left, because I'm confused now. I'm asking because I want to know.
Right.
You know, and if I'm going to judge you, if I think it's something I would judge you about, I wouldn't ask. And if I'm going to judge you about something, why would I be with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like none of that makes any sense to me. So
I think sometimes too, the way that you see a person and the way that the person sees themselves can be two different visions.
Yeah.
You know, what you see and what that person sees could be two different things. And because you're on the outside looking in, just like these shows, right? We do these shows, but you're the presenter. And so there are things that you may miss. I know when I do my shows and then I'll watch the tape back because there are things that I miss. However, that person that's on the outside looking in is seeing the things that, you know, you're seeing the things that she may be missing. And so the defense comes in like, oh no, I don't do that. And it's like, I'm looking, I didn't see you do it about 2 times today. Yes, you do.
Right at you doing.
You know, and she's like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. So sometimes it's like he said with the understanding piece, and like Shushu said, I guess what we're about to see is sometimes it's like, you know what's going on with the other person. The other person might not necessarily know, but you dwelling with them and knowing them as a person have to know how to bring that out of a person in a way that they're not bringing it to you. They're not just, you know, straightforward bringing it to you. So I think that knowing your person and just knowing how to deal with people in general too. A lot of my professional career dealt with dealing with people, you know, and so you start to see what people are not saying. You know, you start to see the nonverbals and how things make people feel without them actually saying it. So I think that's, you know, a big thing too. When you're the presenter, or when you're the person doing the things and somebody on the outside is looking in, you're going to get defensive if you're not ready to take that criticism, that constructive criticism, or that, you know, that tough love, or whatever that truth is that you see. And then of course it's always best that you approach every situation carefully, you know, because like I said, the way that that person sees themselves may not be the same way that you see them. You may see them in a better light than they see themselves. And so that's why they're defensive. You know, you may think that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and they may think that, you know, they're not. They may not have that esteem that you're actually giving them. So, you know, it's sometimes complicated.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is a very nuanced topic, period. A lot of nuance. So you got another video for us?
Yeah. So we're gonna go into the second part. He talks about a lot of times in negotiations, there's a natural sense of like negativity that we have, or that people have, and he talks about how to call that out. So once again, fair use. Admin, bring up the second video.
The reasons you won't make a deal are typically more important than the reasons you will make a deal. there's Nobel Prize winning behavioral economics theory that says that people put a value of losses on at least twice what an equivalent gain is. So losing $5 stings at least twice as much as gaining $5. Losing $5 feels like losing $10 or even $35. It's just a ridiculous skewing in our brains over loss. So knowing that fear of loss is probably going to drive someone's decision making more than anything else, tactically, I want to diffuse those fears. I want to get them out of that fear-based thinking, and I want to get them really in a more rational, open frame of mind as quickly as I can, which is why tactically in empathy, I want to address their fears first. Well, labeling is the best way to practice tactical empathy. In its strictest form, it's just saying or writing, it seems like, it sounds like, it looks like, putting a label on the dynamic. And science is showing us now that if we label a negative, it diminishes it. I'll actually say to somebody ahead of time, look, this is going to sound really harsh. And there's a really good chance that when I get done saying what I'm going to say, you're not going to like me at all. And then I'll say what I have to say, and they'll say, wow, that wasn't that bad. So I know I can take a very preemptive approach to negative thinking because I know what a barrier it is to decision making in business.
You spot on again. This is stuff they taught us in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
All of this. Body language and then how you present things.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I gotta tell you something for real. You ain't gonna like it. In fact, you might hate it. I took my shoes off before I walked on the carpet today. Not so bad, right? You're right. Yeah, it'd be something. See, that's the like if I came to you like that. Okay, Precious, if your guy comes to you like that, you're gonna hate, baby. You're gonna hate what I got to say. But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be on edge. You're gonna be ready. Mm-hmm. Then he tells you something, and it's not the end of the. As long as it's not a deal breaker or the end of the world, you can be like, what else? That's it. That's it. Yeah, he could have done something bad, but it won't be. You won't feel it as bad because he geared you up for something that was way worse than what the result actually is.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I actually have a friend who, when he's about to tell me something, he's about to give me constructive criticism or something that he thinks that I may not like or may not agree with. He goes, "We friends, right?" Right. So whenever he says that, I already know, like, all right, it on me. Yeah, we friends. And because we friends, I know you're going to tell me the truth. But that's exactly what he says every single time. And it's always, and he doesn't have to say it because we friends. It's like, you don't have to, but I think it's a respect level thing where it's just like, all right, the conversation about to take a shift. Put on your seatbelt.
Right.
And it's not always, like Mandrell said, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, like that wasn't even, that. But the way that you frame it is important. And like I said, I know that the conversation is going to take a little bit of a shift because he did say that. So I think it is a sensory or memory type of thing in your brain that when you do practice that with someone, at least they know that you're about to go into something that you're going to bring to their attention or, some type of, like he said, you got to label these things. So you're, about to call out some type of behavior or whatever it is, that framing is important.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like when we were talking about Precious, you were saying you were going to your friend's house and your friend had a cat. Like had your friend, but like before y'all went in, like, oh, I'm hold on now, I'm telling you now.
Right.
I got a cat. And I typically when I open the door, the cat run up. So just let you know. So when you open the door and the cat runs up, you like,
right.
You already know.
And I think the thing is, and people are coming at me at the chat, but I'm not saying that you can control a person's actions, because you do have people out there who freak out about or overreact to minute issues. You know, you do have people who do that, and for them, you have to try a different tactic or a completely different approach with them.
If you would listen when he said labeling,
yeah,
he was like labeling the whatever the body language, whatever it is you're sensing. So like if we're in a conversation and you start to get like you can feel the tension building, you can say, well, are you okay? I mean, it seems like you're a little uneasy.
Yeah, you're getting a little bothered.
I'm not uneasy. Are you sure? I mean, it's because it just feels like you're just getting a little defensive right now. Like, it's okay. And see, when you call it out, it automatically, like, you know, kind of like shuts it down because hey, the gig is up. The jig is up. You trying to hide the fact that you feeling some type of way about this, and I'm just letting you know I see it.
Sense it,
hiding it. So just say so. And a lot of times, it goes back to you really start listening, and they telling you, okay, yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not getting defensive, but I'm just saying, like, every time this happens, and it just gets on my nerves, and you're, oh, okay.
Yeah, and people are coming at me in the chat, like Scam Likely's coming at me.
Oh Lord,
beautifully animated. Those 3 words, we need to talk. Those people, yeah, that's why. If it's something that's not so bad, you use that. I'm not saying if it's the end of the world, we need to talk. No.
I think we need to talk with everyone at
right, yeah.
You
we need to talk like something bad comes up.
Right, exactly. You use that for like,
so it's just like
you use that for like. Here's what you use it for. Here's what you use it for. I went to the store and I forgot the eggs that you asked me to get. Something like that. But if the car blew up, no. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference, people.
All right.
Follow me, okay? Don't just, it's like y'all looking for a reason to come at me. My first day back in like a month.
All right.
Jesus. The Wolves are out tonight, aren't they? Good night. I bring a first day back, special guest. I'm back here with my sister. Ease up. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Okay.
Mandrell, I sense that you're
right.
The chat a little bit too much.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. I never read the chat. Ever. I don't know why tonight I'm reading the chat.
Very concerned about what other people are thinking about you.
I don't care. You know that.
I don't know. Are you sure?
Yeah. Like. Oh, by the way, we do have. Now that I see him, guess what we got?
What we got?
For the first time in like 3 months, we got a cash app. This might be the first. No, this is like the third this year. We got a cash app from Dre Blanco. Welcome back, Mandrell. Nice. Thank you, Dre.
Oh, what's going
on? $30.
That was nice.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. Thank you, Dre. Appreciate it. You're tonight's sponsor, unless somebody can beat that deal. Now,
we gonna give Dre Blanco a.
Did we have to though?
We should, yeah.
All right.
We should.
Okay.
Admin, bring up something nice.
Yeah, celebrate those who celebrate you.
That's right. Exactly.
No one celebrates me, Precious. No.
Listen.
My name is Rosa. Yeah. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm gonna sit right closer. Yeah. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't gonna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. Yeah. I didn't believe. Yeah. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. Yeah. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Yeah. Trick on Big Harry. Yeah. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground, dirt road, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
I told you. No one celebrates me. I told you. Look at what they do. Of all the videos I played,
Big Harry.
Hey, don't call me slave hoe.
The hell? They know I hate that one, and then that's what you do to me. Got it.
Oh my Lord.
I have to apologize. I was giving a memo.
No, you didn't.
Let you say something nice.
No, you didn't.
Play that her favorite song.
No, you didn't.
No high
No,
up.
you didn't. I know, Black Dandy, you don't like me, and that's cool. I don't like you. I don't like your whole continent then, since you don't like me.
That's so bad.
Wow. You know what? I'll play your video next time.
No, you won't.
Mandrell, I think Mandrell's is his worst enemy. He's like, nobody celebrates me. Mind you, he just got Cash App. Nobody celebrates me.
But here's the thing: they know that money's going to Shoe. They all know that.
Now they know.
They all knew. I mean, look, I made that announcement in the beginning, and every time, like I send it to her. I don't need it.
Okay,
but yeah.
Let's get into the third video. He talks about what's called empathy. Having empathy in a conversation and fair use once again. So here we go.
The type of listening I practice it and as I teach it is really kind of beyond active listening all by itself. We even sort of refer to it sometimes as listener's judo, because we're listening very carefully for certain things. We're listening for different aspects of what people care about and what they're against at the same time. People will reveal the negatives very much either between the lines, a little bit of the adjectives, and then also in every positive, there's a flip side negative. Every negative, there's a flip side positive. If I make it a point of talking about how I'm for integrity, then if you're making it a point to state that, then you've been betrayed in the past. That's been a problem for you in the past. There's a yin and yang to everything. And as soon as you realize that there's a negative to every positive and a positive to every negative, and you're listening for it, you can kind of pick out how you want to guide a discussion, knowing that those are the things that you're looking for. I remember one time I was on the phone with a customer service airlines person. And that's got to be a tough job because those people get yelled at all day long, every day. Nobody calls customer service unless they're unhappy. And this woman was one of those women that she'd been yelled at 50 times during the day. And she was not interested in staying on the phone with me a moment longer than she had to. And I remember when I was off the phone and she had me on hold, I remember saying, I guarantee you this woman right now is thinking, she's saying to her colleagues, this guy's lucky I'm talking to him on a phone at all. So I was thinking about the negative of that, and then I was thinking about the flip side. Well, in her view, if she thinks I'm lucky to be talking to her on the phone, then the flip side of that is she's actually being generous in her mind and her world. She came back on the phone and I said to her, you know what? I really appreciate how generous you've been with your time. And I could tell immediately her frame of mind changed. She put me back on hold for about a minute and a half after that. And when she came back on the phone, she'd given me a full refund on my ticket. Most people, if you're nice to them, can help you by doing a little bit if you give them a chance. And if you're just nice to people, it's amazing what they'll do for you.
Embarrass you.
So true.
Right.
So
right.
True.
Now,
Yep.
Precious, you work in sales, or do,
Mhm.
okay? You deal with people, and my business is selling things. So when you deal with people who are, let's say, unhappy with a product or a service, whatever it is you're involved with, how do you deal with that? Are you the woman on the phone? Are you the woman on the phone? This person just doesn't talk to me.
If it escalates up to me, so when it comes to sales and what I do and sales in general, people buy from who they like. Okay, so you can have the best sales pitch. You can, do cartwheels and backflips. If they don't like you, they're not buying from you. When it comes to issues, most people on the other line want to know how you can help them now. So it's when it comes to issues and problems, you hear them out. They're looking for somebody to hear them out because maybe if it gets escalated up to me, then that's when I hear it. So they may have spoken to 2 to 3 people before they got to me, and now it's at me and they are mad, heated. They look, And usually a kind word and I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm glad that you got me because I'm the person that can actually help you rectify this issue. And you just you give them that empathy. And like he said in the video, 9 times out of 10, that angry customer turns into, I'm so glad I got you. What's your direct line?
Yeah.
Like every time, because it's like I've already been through so and so, they couldn't understand, and because I also speak their language, it could have been other people who don't know anything about the account. They're just customers, not just customer service, but they're customer service and are not necessarily sales. So they can't speak the language of the customer who is going through a sales process. But when he calls back, it's really a customer service issue. Yeah. But customer service doesn't really know how to speak the sales language. And so usually when you're able to speak somebody's language and understand them and understand, why they're feeling the way that they are feeling, knowing their plight, knowing what they have to get accomplished, and knowing how the issue probably was an inconvenience to them. It's just like he said, being empathetic because and then that's how you strengthen a relationship. You strengthen a relationship by being empathetic towards the things that they feel like nobody else is actually listening to or don't care about or really can't help them with.
Right. I think a lot of people have issues. If you look at this social media space, YouTube and that, I don't see how any of these guys can get any woman. I really don't. Like with the ideology that they have and the way they talk, but then they get pissed off when soft skills Sam comes along and just in 3 words, every woman in the room is calm. Every woman in the room is talking to that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, soft skills Sam. So I mean, it's just listen. The guy who is the better communicator is going to walk out on top every time, and that's what negotiations are. It's communication. So my question is to you ladies is how do we relate this in the context of a relationship? You get what you negotiate.
Right.
How do you relate this into a relationship?
Well, number one, remembering from the first video, he said that every negotiation is about feelings, is about emotions. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like where that person stands, what their position is, what their values are, how they feel about certain topics or issues. And then the other part is listening. Like active listening to what it is they're saying. Like, when they express to you what their needs are, what it is that they're looking to come to an agreement on, you need to be able to listen. And also being able to read their body language, because you got to understand there are things that they're not saying either and how to pull that out of them. Okay, well, I hear this is what you're saying, but in your body language, there's something that you're not expressing. Like just being like, well, I understand where you're coming from, which is providing that empathy. And he also explains, like, in his masterclass, there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. He was like, people don't want your sympathy. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I feel so sorry for you. I don't need your feelings. I need you to understand where I'm coming from. I need you to feel what I'm feeling.
Comprende?
Exactly. I need you to feel what I'm feeling right now.
Right. Right.
It's so understanding the other person's side, understanding, having emotional intelligence, and having empathy, because you got to understand also what he said in the first video. A person, if you understand, a person will leave money on the table, all for if they feel like the person they're talking to understands them.
Listen, you have any idea how many 3-month packages I sold just because I got to the root cause of why they want to lose weight or get fit?
Right.
When I get to the root cause, because the way I approach it is, okay, let me solve a problem. I'm not trying to help them lose weight. I'm not trying to help them get buff or prepare for a bodybuilding show or get athletic. I'm solving a problem. Finding out what that problem almost every time I've solved the problem or figured out what the problem was, they bought 3 months at a time.
Right.
Almost every time. It is incredible. Now, Precious, in the context of a relationship, what's this all about?
As far as negotiations, I always say you have to be real with yourself. You have to do those negotiations with yourself first. Because if not, you'll be that people pleaser. Yeah. You'll be that person that's stuck in a marriage and you don't really love this man or that woman. You'll be the person that's going through life and just going through the mannerisms and not really happy. Right. You know, before you get to another person and negotiate with them, you have to be real with yourself. And then when you actually get with that person, are you being real with them? Does it align with the realness that you have with yourself? Are you then being real with them? Or are you trying to appease them? Are you not trying to, gain understanding? Or are you not trying to get on the same playing field with them because you're not real with yourself? You could tell when somebody is when they're uneasy about something, because they'll probably take longer to respond. They won't respond right away, or they'll change the subject, or it's because they can't be real with you. It's like they know what's going on with themselves, but they can't necessarily do it with you. And so when it comes down to negotiations and relationships, don't do it for other people. It's for the two people that are in that relationship. And like, what's his name? Chris? Is it Chris?
Yeah, Chris Voss.
Like he was saying, get down that understanding again, understanding of self, and then understanding of that other person. Are you understanding what they're saying? Are you empathizing with what they're saying? Are you truly having these conversations where you can get down to the root of the issues of what's going on? But you gotta do that with yourself. I think a lot of people have all these extremities or outside reasons why they're with somebody, and it's not because of the person standing in front of them. Right. It's not the core of who that person is. You're not with them for that. You're with them because they got a good job. You're with them because they can get you connected to this person or that person. And it's like, why are you with them? If they ain't have any of those things, why are you with them? And I think that a lot of people, don't get down to the nitty gritty of that. Everything else adds to the pot. And it's like, no, you got to take all that other stuff away. Right. When it's just a person down to just the core of who they are you good with that negotiation? Let's start with that one. Right. Are you good with saying I'm with you and you're with me? Let's just start there.
Because no matter what negotiation you're doing,
no negotiation after that is going to be a good one.
Because no matter what kind of negotiating you do, the core principles of who that person are, the core makeup of who that person is, that's going to come regardless. You can't negotiate that away.
Exactly.
So it's people don't look deep enough. They don't. From my observation, people it's all surface level stuff. These conversations on all these different panels, it's all surface level stuff. Surface level stuff. Jay Speed would call me on the phone. We would be on the phone 3.5 hours. And it's all substantive conversation. Scam Likely would call me. We would be on the phone an hour and a half, 2 hours, not notice. And we learn from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Scam Likely. The soft skills Sam, that was his.
Soft skills Sam.
He actually said that today. I told him I was stealing it. Soft skills Sam. I told him I was stealing it. Jedi Mike, I hadn't heard from you in like 6 months.
Jedi Mike, oh
Right. And he says, I call you, I hear music. But here's the thing, Jedi Mike is doing things the right way. Jedi Mike chose the right mentors. He learned how to negotiate in the context of we're doing it. And we're talking about tonight. By listening to the right people who are older than him and more experienced and been there and done that.
Right.
Shout out to Jedi Mike. My hat off to you. You did it right. The rest of us wish and pray that we had done it that way, man. Congratulations on your nuptials too, by the way. You never called me and told me you did that. Actually kind of twisted about that, bro. You didn't even tell me. See, that's messed up, Mike. We need to negotiate, Mike. We do.
I need to negotiate.
Shout out to the information man who showed up. Also, another person I learned from actually is Corey Hager.
Oh yeah.
I see him in the chat, and I see him in the chat. Shout out to him. But yeah, so I know a lot of people thought when they saw the title, this is going to be a different type of conversation. You keep what you negotiate. Yeah, let's watch that. It's like, no, we're going to teach you how to be a better person. Right. That's what we do over here. Okay.
Right.
It's a much more mature conversation than which the manosphere red pill nonsense.
Right.
All right. We're gonna drop the link. Shout out to DL Saint for pulling up, pulling the rears. Okay, you just got here, you missed the whole thing. Admin, drop the link. As soon as our producers finish this coffee break. Whatever.
We gotta get that Beyonce clip when she was on stage and the lights didn't come up on the cue when it was supposed to. She said, "Let's somebody fired." I said, "Yo."
They put you right there on the spot too.
Right. Hey, look. I've already fired Black David like 4 times.
Judge for that, you gonna get this.
You see how they treat me over here?
Yeah, keep trying me.
Look,
keep trying me.
My sister endorses it. She does. Okay, yeah, Mike. We're gonna have words. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Mike. First, thank you for coming up, Scam Likely.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Look at his name. What's with the white people? I don't understand.
You trying to show us?
Y'all both got. Well, I got on a pink beater.
Like the tribe is recruiting one members if you want to join the tribe. What is going on?
What's going on, Scam Likely? How you doing? Thank you
That's
for joining
guys
us.
chill.
Soft Skills Sam. Thank you for joining us. Your first time on the panel. First time to the show. Welcome to the show, Soft Skills Sam. What's up?
My computer got a delay. I just keep hearing two-step music over and over.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that, Soft Skills Sam. The IT department is right below you. Holler at him. We're going to give you a minute to get that together. In the meantime, Jedi Mike.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How you doing?
All right, now it stopped.
How you doing? Well, now you got to wait. We went to another guest. Okay, Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah, first of all, the answer, I wasn't telling anybody shit. Okay.
I don't blame you. But you should have told me, Mike. It's called a telephone.
No, it's called incognito. I've been in process. Shout out
Gotcha. Shout out to Jedi Mike. What you got on the topic, Jedi Mike?
Yeah, negotiating. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
And also how, in terms of relationships, and also whether in business too, but just in your old beings of life, how you interact with people. But coming from a relationship point of view, again, you have to, I always have this rule saying you have your non-negotiables and you never negotiate it. That way everything else between can be compromised and, give or take in that in terms of, because obviously when you're trying to join, when two people are trying to join as one, there will be some things where sacrifice has to be made, and you have to cut some habits that you have, with yourself that, now because you're living with another individual, I'm living with the woman, and stuff like that, so I got to, make sure I hang my stuff properly and other stuff, or put the stuff in the pantry and the toilet seat, all that. We already know how it is, but yeah, I mean, but on the real stuff though, it just again, like in a relationship, in terms of your expectations, but again, non-negotiables. We always kept. A lot of people are always trying to compromise things they know for a fact they are not okay with, just to have somebody present in their life, and then they end up regretting that later. So, yeah, I just encourage people not to negotiate your non-negotiables.
Right, the deal breakers and so and the like. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Those you stand firm on. The rest of it, you must remain malleable, and because you're dealing with a whole other human being. And I'm so glad, Mike. Again, I'll say this again. Your success. Mute yourself, Black David, please. Now, thank you. So, Mike, I say again, you did things the right way. You listened to the right people. You took the right advice, and you took that advice, and you didn't just take it verbatim. You made it your own. You applied it to your life and your own mentality, and it worked. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Shout out to you, young warrior. Just want to say, look, man, I'm proud of you.
I know, I appreciate it, but no, I mean, especially a few people on this panel have a part to play in that. I mean, in their own ways, off camera. But and I appreciate that. But again, it's like, this is a continuing journey and stuff. Like, marriage is not easy. I would not. This is not a game for the weak, right? And but I also believe is, some of the best teachers in life are the people you can learn from what not to do, which is some of these panels right here, in the face. Yeah, so I have the best teachers I could ever ask for.
Yes, you do. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, young Padawan. Not a Padawan anymore. You're now a knight. All right.
Real quick, I just want to acknowledge Dr. Nakumbe's super chat. Thank you, Dr. Nakumbe, for the $5 super chat. We appreciate you.
Donations.
That's right.
Donations.
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 He said, shout out to
you dipping some milk. Oh no.
Dr. Umar, he's still at it. You know that?
He's still at it.
He's still at it.
He got evidence.
With the donations.
Donations.
All right. Skip likely. Then we get to Corey Hager.
We're gonna give him
a jingle. Why does he get a jingle? Give him something awesome, man. I mean, right. That wasn't awesome. I got to do everything myself around here. I'll find some that are good. Soft Skills Sam.
My name is Sam. Yeah. Okay.
No, don't, man.
No,
man. Come on, man.
This is for the ladies.
Don't call me Scam. The hell.
I'm gonna get back and get some of them Boosie chips.
Yeah, because sometimes I go
right on camera.
I'm just walking through the neighborhood. I'm a bus driver actually by trade, and I walk by and I hear a man arguing with his woman, and she's just like, "But Tony, you don't spend time with me. Why don't you cook for me? I'm a man, and it's your duty. I'll protect and I'll provide." And then I come and pull her to the side, baby. He's not loving you right, and if your man ain't loving you right, all you gotta do.
Wait a minute.
If your man ain't loving you right, all you gotta do is call me, and I'm gonna stroke you out right. And then I'm actually going to Uber you back to the streets right afterwards, but you know.
No.
But no, here deal is. How do you negotiate? How do you expect women to do something that they don't want to do? And worst is you don't even know that they don't want to do it, or you don't know why they don't want to do it, or why they don't even want you. That's a lose-lose. So you got a briefcase with cash in it. Yeah, I'm a protector. I can provide. She has a job. If you were getting to know her so well, why didn't you ask her about her ex-boyfriend, the one she's still stuck on? She'll tell you he made $11 an hour in a factory, and she still loves these 5 little things that she told you what she wanted. She told you how she wanted to be treated, and you decided to go and be some yelling, angry tyrant and try to get her to submit to that. The answer is no, and then here I come in to take your love away. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Soft Skills Sam. Appreciate that. Your contributions.
I can be reached soft and smooth, that man. Oh
yeah. Yeah, Freezy. I'm with you, man. Okay, actually, I mean, he's being funny, but he's telling the truth, because you see a lot of beautiful professional women date some guys who don't make squat. You know what I'm saying? Like their paychecks is small as shit. And the women date them. These are women who are making 80 grand and up.
But they're making love.
There you go. You know, but then you get this guy. See, you have to be. You hear YouTube. You got to be a 6-figure man. You got to have all this money. You show up with all your money, and she kicks. And you know, you're just lame. She kicks you to the curb because you don't know how to talk to her.
If you
women want to feel.
I think one of the points a lot of people miss is listening. Actually.
Yeah, they want to feel heard.
Just listen, like, and especially like for guys, if you listen to a woman, she'll tell you what she wants. She'll tell you what she likes. You know, if you are like actively listening in the moment, like Soft Skills Sam brought up, you asked her about the boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, and she's still stuck on.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Right. She, I'm sorry, Precious, if you ain't know like that, yo, they be clowning, know him. But if you listen to what she says, okay, the things she liked about him, that lets you know, okay, this is what she likes. You know what I mean? And rather than just trying to tell her what she likes or just not listening to it at all, like that's when you go wrong. Like she's telling you, you know.
There you go. Thank you, Corey Hager. What do you want? What do you want?
How you doing, Corey?
Hey, Corey.
Hello,
Corey.
Shushu, I'm reminded of a video you did over on Grape Hill Podcast. We heard all about what you like.
Wait. What's this now?
Whatever you like.
What's this one? The ladies' night one?
Really?
It was a ladies' chat. Ladies'
Oh,
night.
Yeah. That was like the ladies' panel.
You're lucky I wasn't there, because I'd had them ladies.
You weren't allowed on the panel. You weren't a girl.
Okay. Yeah, Corey. What did she say?
I am not going to repeat that.
Oh, okay. Whatever, man. All right.
Papa Smurf coming in here.
Which part you was talking about? When I was having empathy for guys who aren't well endowed. I was just saying, you're not well endowed. Just take the time to learn a woman's anatomy.
That's one hell of a politically correct answer right there. Y'all got to admit. That was not the tone of that show.
I'm just saying.
Drop the link in the back chat.
Well, to put it in plain English, the men that they were talking about they wanted, those men, gentlemen, just remember, you have to be gentle.
Yeah,
I ain't
like,
going no farther.
That's why I'm soft skills, Sam.
you know, y'all like to be 2 or 3 minutes, but elongate that time.
No, I
a
don't
little
like
bit.
that. I don't like that. That's pointless.
Wow.
Then I
That's
transform.
ridiculous. 2 or 3 minutes is pointless. No thank you.
Then you transform
let me
into
give-
ridiculous. And then it's
That's
like,
ridiculous.
Let me
Two
get
or
back
three-
to the point of this show.
No, what I was just saying. You're not 13 anymore. 2 or 3 minutes, fellas. Really?
That's a rabbit trail. Sorry about all that. Anyway,
Trying to get it
Jedi
in
Mike,
commercial break. If she can't get hers in 2 minutes, she got to wait till the program go off.
What? What?
When
No,
he-
she's not.
He said you trying to get yours during the commercial break.
Then
Like
she's
you're
not.
watching TV and the commercial comes, you get one in right quick, and then
Oh no.
Right. Then your Uber will be waiting outside, sir.
right 2-3 minutes.
I don't
Oh,
care about Bobby Womack. Y'all can look. We share that girl. You know what I'm saying? Help with these bills.
Oh, okay,
No.
cool. Hold on, wait. We'll get the dirty folks in a second. Let's say Corey, because this gonna be epic.
He folks is walking
Corey.
into a trap. He doesn't even know it.
Hold on,
Okay, so
Corey,
in
yeah.
relationships, when a guy goes to work, when he's at work, he's working. Before he leaves the house, he's a husband. He has to be selfless. When he comes back home, he's got to walk through that door, and he can't be thinking all about himself. He's got to be selfless again. Being married is not for weaklings. You gotta step up. You gotta put your childish attributes or whatever to the side. I mean, being married matures you. You don't have a choice, because if you don't mature, you won't be married. It's simple. Because I can clearly tell you, when my kids were grown and my ex-wife wasn't, I was out.
Mm.
And I'm not afraid to say it. The kids were
Say
grown
what
and
he
she
said.
wasn't, and I wasn't going to tolerate that no more.
Corey out here cutting up.
What's
He
that?
said,
It's
I'm
like
a man, and you not about to run this how you think you're gonna run this.
Right? See, 3-6 Mafia said, "Tear the club up, thugs," and Corey followed the instructions.
Well,
Damn,
you know, I
Corey.
mean, she came from her mom had daddy issues because her daddy ran off. Well, she passed all that trauma off to her daughters, all of them. They all repeated that nonsense. I was just too young and stupid. I was, you know.
You was horny. We understand,
Oh,
Corey.
hell
You
yeah.
know,
We
all
don't even
been
need to
there.
go
He's
there.
after that brown skin, that brown skin.
Yeah, that's a Corey like.
Real good.
Yeah.
Trauma and all.
Okay, I'm out. Next. I got nothing after that. I'm done.
I'm sorry, Corey. You know I love you.
Well, you know, that's the greatest thing about this panel. The people up here, they're priceless. You guys are all awesome. But I am done. You got me. I'm done.
Oh Lord.
He's Corey. I love
I'm on
Corey.
mute.
Man.
Thank you for that, Corey.
Now, dirty folks. We're talking about negotiations, okay? You get what you negotiate.
I'm Team Corey, man. I'm Team
Corey too, all the way, man.
Like, Corey dropped bars, man. He said his kids grew up and she didn't. He didn't understand Tyler's gonna tattle. Sub to my channel, bro. I teach you that girls don't mature past 4 years. Look, here's the thing. But I'm with him though. Marriage is selfless. Being in a relationship is selfless. I'm with Corey. I'm Team Corey. Here's the thing though. I gotta push back on Shushu. Shushu said, listen to your woman. Never listen to your women. God blessed men with the ability to hear white noise. Like any man who has a child, what do you hear? You listen for things breaking and total silence. Because you know those are times of trouble. All the rest of the noise they make, bouncing on the walls, bouncing on the bed, fighting each other, you don't hear any of that because you don't care. Your job is to make sure they survive until to maturity so you can kick them out the house. That's how you have to treat your girl. No matter what she's saying, it doesn't matter because the next thing she said will contradict the thing she just said. She'll just confuse you, sir, so she can win the argument because no matter what side you say, she'll be like, that's the side I said you was going to take. Because girls just don't know. They just talk. They shouldn't even talk with clothes on. You notice girls are very quiet when they're naked. That's how God intended them. So when your girl naked, be attentive. But don't listen to it in either because she don't talk. Just cuddle, use her coochie as a pillow. Watch TV. in a commercial break, try to get yours in that 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just be at ease. It's gonna be all right.
Shut the fuck up.
Not.
I just get that. Oh my God.
Why don't you just hire a sex worker and just have the pillow whenever you want? Like, why does she gotta live with you? Why does she have to do any of that?
You know the greatest thing about a true emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Active listening.
Comfortable silence.
That's true.
When you can just sit next to somebody and y'all just chilling. They ain't gotta say shit. I want to be comfortable with my girl. I don't want her to say shit. Just be comfortable. I'm gonna use your coochie as a pillow, or maybe one of your left breasts or something. You know what I'm saying? We gonna eat popcorn. You gonna smile. That's something different. You gonna smile, and then we just gonna chill. Anything that you have for me to do, write it on a note or email it, text it, whatever. We'll discuss it on Wednesday. Put all your suggestions in the suggestion box, and we'll discuss it on Wednesday.
Okay, dirty folks, I got a question.
Shoot your shot.
How are y'all supposed to have an emotional connection if y'all don't talk?
Your job is emotions. My job is to think. I don't have to feel because you feel.
But you didn't think.
No. Let me say something to you. You know, the only person a woman is loyal to is her employer. I'm treating her like an employer. I'm giving her write-ups, you know what I'm saying, suspensions from conversation. I'm giving her the element that she needs in order for her to feel comfortable at being productive. Love only makes you a slave to her. You need to pull out HR. I'm the HR. Like, look, shorty, here's your relationship handbook. This is the days, you know what I'm saying? You got to get this much credit to be able to go out here and get a date. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me what you want to eat. Just tell me that you're hungry because I know you don't know what you want to eat. So I might even make a little lunch schedule for you like they do in grammar school. Like, I got you. I'll make sure your whole life is straight. I got you.
Attention all modern women. If you don't get it together, this is where you're going.
Precious, you had something for dirty folks. What you got, sweetheart?
Okay, so I agree and I disagree. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I agree in the fact of it sounds like he's pretty much saying, let me think for you. That's what I'm here for. Let me do that. Let me handle it, which women like that. A man who just gets it done. On the other hand, that's too perfect for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's too perfect for the man. And then in a perfect world, that's how you would want it to go.
Okay, let's get back to that. It has to be perfect for me, because when it's perfect for you, the man is sitting in front of the house in his car for an hour, scared to come in the house.
Nothing's perfect, dirty folks. Nothing is
when
perfect.
You're happy, everybody's miserable. I would rather drink your tears so the family works than you to be happy and everybody else is miserable.
But nothing is perfect.
I understand that. So you should bear since you're the backbone, you should support my happiness. It don't matter if you're happy. My job is my job is to ensure to keep you happy, not to make you happy. You either have to be happy and I maintain it, or you be sad and I drink your tears. But I'm not here to make you happy.
No, that's not a man's job. A man's job is not to make a woman happy. I agree with that. A woman should be happy in her own being. However, those lines will cross at some point, is what I'm saying. Right. It's not just shut up and listen 100% of the time.
It's not shut up and listen. I'm saying I'm not listening to you. It's not me. You can talk all you want so you can be happy, because talking about nothing makes you happy. My job is to maintain my happiness, so I block you out unless I hear something breaking or total silence.
So how are you happy, okay, if that's the way you approach it and you were the woman? Like, it sounds like you're just doing what you got to do because you're supposed to do it.
Right.
No.
Not because, like, they say men love idealistically. I ain't gonna lie, I agree with that because I do it.
I have a question though. When should she talk?
Right.
She can talk whenever she wants to talk. I'm saying I don't have to listen.
Okay, hey, everybody. Okay, so I got 20 years experience being married. There's one thing dirty folk does not understand. Patience is a foundational block to a good marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell me one thing he does understand?
I understand this. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. When I talk to a girl the first time on the phone, I know everything a girl gonna say before she say it. So I put down the phone. All I listen for is for you to stop talking so I can be like, word, that's crazy. All you gonna tell me about is
what hood you live in, dirty folks? What hood you live in? What hood do you live in?
It don't matter. This is all
what
girls
hood you live
say.
in? No, but what hood do you live in?
I'm gonna tell y'all the exact conversation. Y'all gonna spend 45 minutes telling me about your childhood grape juice, what you wanted to be when you grew up, how many kids you got, if you want to go to school, or what your degree in if you already went to school.
This is your competition.
You're gonna ask me what I want, what I like to do, not because you care about me, but because you want me to fund your entertainment and you hope I like to do what you like to do so I can pay for it. And then you're gonna say, I felt like I knew you my whole life because you told me your whole life, and then I'm be like, yo, that's what's up, shorty. I'm just slide through, man. We got a connection. I ain't heard shit you said. I don't care.
30.
Are you over 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dirty folks. Listen. The reason you feel the way you feel about women is because you keep dating a certain kind of woman. The fact that
heterosexual woman, you're absolutely right.
The fact that you already know what she's gonna say before she says it. The fact
sound like a man.
Okay, the fact that you don't listen to her. The fact that you already know some of her behavior patterns, that she doesn't really care about me and what I think, and maybe you need to find a woman who actually is going to be vested in what you really care about. And
No, please.
And see, here's the thing.
Nah.
Keep going.
You know what the problem is, though? Even if you did run into a woman who genuinely cared about making you happy, genuinely cared about your interests, because of the trauma you've had dating so many of the same jacked up women, you would jack that relationship up.
No, it's not trauma. Here's the thing, and I said first conversation.
Dirty folks, you have more trauma than all the women that you've dealt with put together.
Nah.
Or either you're the one causing it.
Nah, I don't cause trauma. I'm cool. I'm a funny dude.
I'm used to a certain level of dust.
No. Let me explain something to you. No.
You're untrollable.
No, I am. Okay, here's the thing.
You're a self-fulfilling mechanism.
No. Here's the thing. No.
Here's what would happen to me if I troll you with my own emotions in my own mind.
No.
I wouldn't even send an understudy troll to come get you. Sugar Bum is in the chat and she's quiet. That's how bad the dust you're speaking.
No. Hey, that's crazy. If I shut Sugar Bum up, I did the Lord's work today. But
I can't lie. I gotta agree with that part. If he shut up Sugar Bum, he has done the Lord's work.
Sugar Bum's like, you know what? Just know he's worse off. He's worse off than all of her victims.
No.
Sugar Bum will offer you therapy. That's how bad of dust this is.
No. Hold on, I'm gonna cam up because I need y'all to understand this.
No more.
No more.
I got you. I'm here for you. I got you. Look,
I'm camming down.
No.
First of all,
this might be contagious.
No. First of all, I said I know what she's gonna say in her first conversation. She doesn't care about me in her first conversation. The first conversation is orientation to find out if she likes you.
The first conversation is very important.
Yeah, it is.
It is so important. It's the matter of hi and never again. Like it's
no. Okay, I'll tell you. I know. That's why I let you talk yourself out. This is rope-a-dope. I'll let you keep talking because you don't care about anything I have to say. Anything I have to say will be judged by you. Everything you have to say will just be your ex-boyfriend was abusive or neglectful, whatever. It'll be somebody else's fault. It's never that you was a fucked up girlfriend. And I just got to rope-a-dope until you say, I felt like I knew you my whole life. The relationship doesn't start until after we have sex because you never know a person if the sex or money is involved. So let's get through the preliminaries. Let's have sex. And then, unless you want to give me money, and then we can start.
What the hell?
Because you don't have a vested interest in me to care about me until sex or money is involved. So I just let you talk yourself out.
Okay, so dirty folks, when it comes to negotiations in these relationships, you don't negotiate at all?
No.
No. It's not that. I give them the relationship handbook. there's a lot of leeway in any handbook. If there wasn't, then girls wouldn't have jobs because they spend like 4 hours at the water cooler gossiping. There's a lot of leeway. I just need them to do the tasks and duties required. The problem with relationships, especially with the coloreds, is most women want 100%. Men can give you 90% and keep 10 for herself, and she wants that other 10 like she's missing something. The relationship handbook prevents her. You know when you're filling out a form at the bottom it says don't sign here, administrative only.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure she doesn't fill out the administrative only. So the other 90% of this you can do. This 10% ain't for you. Give you an example.
Okay, hold on. So, Precious, is this true in your experience? Say you meet a fella, right? And things are great. Things are fantastic. He loves you to death, and he's giving you 90% of himself. Do you want that other 10? Or do you want 100%? And he gives himself.
You're never going to get 100% of anyone.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
You're never going to get 100% of anyone.
Why
God don't even get 100% of people. What make you think you going to get 100%?
That's not fair. That's not a fair comparison. That's God. We're humans. We're stupid. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
I mean, it's a relationship. Whether it's God, whether it's you, whether it's no matter who it is, it's a relationship.
I don't feed you tacos though. Look, so, a 90% relationship is a great relationship.
90% is I would agree there. 90% is a good percentage to get of someone. That's a good.
Would you get tired of him at 90%?
I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. Every woman can expect that her man won't go through her purse because that's her personal property. But every man puts a lock on his phone because they know that 10% of don't touch my phone, a girl will try to see what's in his unit. That's what I'm talking about. 100% of access. Whether or not he gives it, girls want to take it. That's why you have to have parameters, and I give it a relationship handbook. It's crazy that people think this is trauma when this is order. The whole thing was you get what you negotiate, and I said this is what I'm negotiating, and they say that's trauma. That's crazy.
Would you date a bus driver?
I would date any woman that wears polyester pants. I love girls.
What the hell?
She could work for the bus. She could be a flight attendant. If she wears polyester pants, I'm in it to win it. You know what I mean?
Damn, you easy.
It was a little pause in there too. Would you date a bus driver?
I will not date a girl who dressed like Hillary Clinton. If she wear pantsuits, no. If she wear polyester pants, I'm in it to win it.
So you date any woman who wears polyester pants?
Lord have mercy.
Mandrell,
yeah.
This is the future. This is the future of the dust panels.
This is right now.
What I'm saying is this: 2027. This is going to be the norm across.
I think it's a norm. I think it's getting it's close to the norm now. I think it's close to the norm. So this is why I just
agree with some of the stuff he's saying. I just don't agree with everything.
Well, no, you don't agree with everything. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But that's when the negotiation starts, right?
Well, my question is this, dirty folks: Are you dating? Are you dating for a relationship? Or are you just dating for somebody to like just hook up with? Because like there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like it sounds to me like the women that you dated like really aren't relationship material.
I'm not even gonna say that. Look, it doesn't matter if she on Section 8 or if she got a doctorate degree. Girls are gonna act like girls. I don't understand why girls try to measure themselves based on that. Here's the thing.
That's true.
I date for the position. Like me personally, I call it the chair. Whoever sits in that ergonomic chair, I love the chair. I have a particular set of things that I'll do for whoever sits in that chair. But this is at will employment. If she wants to leave because she thinks she has a better option, the next girl sits in that chair gets all the benefits of that chair. I don't love the woman. I love the position. She has to do what it takes to keep the position. This is the negotiation. If you go to work and you don't do what you're supposed to do, they'll lay you off and find somebody that wants to do the job, unless you work at home.
Dirty folk, how many women have sat in that chair?
Too many. One or more.
Huh?
Corey asks, how many women have sat in that chair though, man?
Oh man, shit, nigga, this is an ergonomic chair, bro. It go up and down. It got cushion. Whoever fuck is in this chair, man, that's the chair.
Go to your next homeless shelter or abuse center.
That is my goal, because I don't want a girl that can read anymore. All these girls that all they try to do is trying to figure out how to do. I'm gonna try to find somebody straight out the orphanage, bro.
If you
You don't want them to read? Lord.
My next shopping adventure will be to find a biracial girl with a white mom and a black dad in the orphanage singing orphanage.
Please forgive me.
Don't cut him off. I want to hear the rest of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't smoke crack.
Yeah, don't stop him. I want to hear the rest of this. You to go to a homeless shelter.
No. I'm going to the orphanage. Homeless shelter, she got to have a kid to get emergency housing. I don't want that responsibility. I'm going to the orphanage, bro.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm not doing this.
An orphanage with children?
But he says all. Wait. He goes. He said it because he says all women are toddlers. That's what he says.
Really, I'm running an adoption agency, bro. I'm out here like Prince. You know how Prince grabbed him at 12 and then married till she was 20. 8 years of grooming, nigga. 12 years of groom. Look, for real. Look, man. She ain't got to.
You're over 30. You're over 30.
Look, she ain't got to read. She got to know how to scramble eggs properly. That's all. Can you put the proper amount of cheddar in my eggs?
Look at it, underneath his name. It says aspiring slave owner. I mean,
that's what it says.
Precious.
Names are powerful. Yes.
Precious. Listen, go to Dirty Folks YouTube channel. Check out some of his content.
Should I?
If you're in a bad mood, it'll cheer you up.
Will it?
It will. You're gonna laugh your ass off. Dirty Folks is a trip.
He seems like a comedian.
Dirty Folks is a trip.
It's funny. I'm dead ass serious. Y'all just
Dirty Folks is a trip.
Yeah, fix Jesus.
Beautifully animated said, "Fix him, Jesus."
Fix him, Jesus. Fix him. He ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? He's not broken.
He just hasn't had the right woman because
there is no right woman.
At this point, he wants a woman who's pretty much
a man,
just walking and got 2 legs.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I just told you what I wanted.
Well, yeah, she gotta know how to scramble eggs. She gotta know how to. Okay, so she got 2 legs and she knows how to scramble eggs.
Let me ask you a question. What is the benefit?
No.
What is the benefit? What is the benefit of being with a woman who quote unquote knows her worth?
Knows her worth?
Yes. What's the benefit?
Can we get Black David in here?
No. Let's play out. It's a good question, Precious.
The benefit of being with a woman who knows her worth?
Yes.
To me, the benefit of it is for you to be a great man. If a woman knows her worth, then you're able to be a great man.
Okay, so I have a couple of things. I disagree. I'll tell you why. Number one, I've never met a girl who knows her worth that didn't need other people to give it to her. So she has to buy something or fuck something or take a trip and see something.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
That's what they say they did. I know my worth. But really her worth is her price because they don't have a worth. A worth is assigned based on market value. Girls don't have worth. They have a price. I have to give her worth in this relationship.
Do you have an apartment over a strip club?
Where do you live?
I think you need to stop finding chicks in the hood.
No, I told you everywhere.
Like
you based in the hood.
No. Tyler's gonna tell you where Tyler's are. So that's
Is it up north?
Better.
Is it up north?
There is no choose better.
It is
up north.
I
can tell I'm from up north. I'm trying to see what hood you from because
I'm in the north.
I could kind of.
He in Chicago.
It don't matter. I said in Atlanta, in Iowa, in South Dakota, in North Carolina, girls are girls wherever girls are made. Look, And the whole thing is, I love women, not as much as I love me, but I love girls. Your job is to love me so that I can feel good about liking you.
Wait, what?
Right. Well, that's kind of what I said. Like, as far as work, but see, I just don't know what woman you're coming across, because if you have a woman that desires to be married, then she knows that her worth as a good woman will help you be a good man.
Here's the problem with that. Everything that women learn about being a woman, they get from another black woman, which means that you taught to be a transgender man. So none of that works for me. You need to listen to me so I can tell you what you need to do in order to get the position you're looking for. Because everybody, it's crazy. Like all the wife workshops by divorced women, it's crazy. When y'all want a job, you go to the employer. I'm the employer, so I'm telling you, yo, this is what I need you to do. Don't tell me that, man, you hiring the wrong people.
But we're kind of saying the same thing, though. That's pretty much what I'm saying. You're just more hardcore with it as far as your
I'm not hardcore though. I'm just cutting through the mustard. Everybody else says you have to tap into her emotions. Women are emotional. Y'all got 5 emotions a day. I can't keep up with your emotions. I have to be static. I have to be stoic. So you can be willy-nilly like the Tyler you are and run around the daycare and throw flour in the air.
It's called emotional intelligence.
Okay, I'm intelligent enough to know to ignore your emotions and anything you say unless I hear something break or perfect silence. That is my emotional intelligence to your emotion.
So, wow. Wait, hold on. You say emotional intelligence stops there. We hear
that's a
perfect
hell of a
silence.
word salad right there.
Yeah, your emotional intelligence stops there until you hear something break or complete silence.
Don't let her have a baby.
I'm saying
her talking isn't her communicating. Girls talk a lot. That doesn't mean they're good communicators.
So how do they communicate? Wait. Hold on. So how do they communicate if they're not talking?
Okay.
They got to break something.
That would help. But 90%,
y'all not listening. He said you got to break.
Only 2% of communication is words. Like over 90% is body language. So she can communicate a lot of different ways. She has to understand my love language. I don't have to understand hers because she's just talking. She has to understand how to communicate with HR.
All right. Hold on. You say she needs to understand your love language. You don't need to understand hers. What's going to happen with this recipe that you've cooked up, man, is that woman's going to leave, guaranteed. So I don't hear an avenue here where you set yourself up for a long-term relationship.
Right.
Look, her getting tenure is based on the relationship handbook. That's not up to me. That's up to her.
Yeah, but your model and longevity doesn't go together.
Remember, as faithful as her options.
Dirty folk, you need to get an automated kitchen so you can have your scrambled eggs perfect and then get a love doll.
Men are the best chefs anyway. I spend my own days. Look, but here's the thing. For all the guys who say this, happy wife, happy life, guys, I've never met a man that said happy wife, happy life, and he was happy.
I haven't either, to be honest.
Well, I don't believe in happy wife, happy life. I don't believe in that.
What do you believe in? Happy spouse, happy house?
I believe in I do. I believe in both people being happy, but at the end of the day, you gotta be real with yourself. I believe in that. I believe in, being real with your spouse and then them being real with you. And
okay, here's a question.
That realness will bring out, whatever needs to be brought out.
No, I got a question for you. If you set up a romantic night, how would you set up the romantic night?
Without you.
It was a good question.
How would you?
I really want to hear the answer.
So a romantic night?
Romantic night. You're feeling romantic. Your spouse, your boyfriend comes in the house. How would you set up this romantic night?
Candles, champagne, food that I cooked.
Ooh,
maybe a bath or something. Rose petals.
A bath.
Exactly.
Is the bath for me or you?
Exactly.
Huh?
Thank you, Mandrell. Thank you.
Men take that. Why don't? Okay. No. We're not going to do this on YouTube. We're not going to do this on
I don't care about no
YouTube.
rose petals. I don't care about no bath. I do want to eat your food. I don't care about no candles, no incense, no dim lights. I ain't paying a light bill to walk around in candles. Look, everything. You don't care about me. If that's your romantic night,
you said, how would
not for me. That's
set up a
point.
romantic evening? You didn't.
No, I asked you, and
I don't know you, brother. If I knew you, I would know how to set it up for you.
Right.
I don't know you.
You would do the exact same thing.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Don't get on no panel and act like you know somebody. Because you got on here. You got on here. You got on here like you know every woman in the world, and you don't.
I know behavior
but
patterns.
You don't. I don't know every woman in the world.
That Mandrell will get a tie shirt set for Father's Day, like you ain't known him the other 364 days of the year and figure out what he like, because you don't give a fuck about Mandrell. But on your day, on Mother's Day or your birthday, it's all every kiss begins with K. It's what outfits you want, what restaurants you want. Men cater to women. Women don't cater to men. Women think that men are happy catering to women.
Dirty folks, let me ask you a question. What would it take to restore your faith in women?
Lord. You ain't really had no woman love you. You really haven't had no woman love you, and that's the sad part.
That's supposition. I've had women love me.
Where they
I
at?
still know the behavior patterns.
Where they at?
Well, you don't have an answer for that. What would it take to restore your faith in women?
I have faith in women to act like women. That's not the question. The question was, you get what you negotiate. What are we negotiating? What is my starting point? Your job is to try to be like, yo, but this is important to me, and see if I'll be like, all right, you can have that, but this is important to me.
Yeah, but dirty folk, this entire time you've been talking about a bed warmer, not really talking about
that is the base.
What you're not talking about a
how many people are in sexless marriages? The base is you warm the bed on a consistent basis.
Well, I understand that, but you could get a dog to keep the bed warm. I mean, we're talking about people. We're not talking about
inanimate objects. And a dog will mess up my house with a bunch of stupid ass rose petals, had a whole crib burning down with incense. Look.
Ask yourself this question. Of all of the great romance stories ever written, how many of them were written by women as opposed to men? I mean, the classics. They're all written by men.
I agree.
Because men are romantic by nature.
Because only men can love. I agree. Look.
Okay, so you're the source of the romance, so what's your problem?
I agree.
How would you set up a romantic evening?
Good question. I want to hear this.
Good question.
I would tie you up to the furnace.
Oh God, I'm out.
The furnace.
No, I'm just playing.
No, keep going. Go ahead. Tie me up.
I just play.
Okay.
Hey, that was funny though. Look.
Is that the end of the evening? Where'd he go?
No. Check this out.
Okay.
I wouldn't set up a romantic evening.
Oh, right on. What would you do?
Let me explain what romance is. I did the translation on what romance is. You know, romance and no are the only two words that are the same word in every language.
Didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No is no in every language except Russian. Yet. Romance is romance in every language. The core of romance is Roma ANCE, to be like or as. To be like or as Rome. When the second Roman Empire started, they changed Constantinople to look like Rome, and it's to be as long. It's nostalgia. The direct definition is chasing a high. So to me, to be romantic to you means that I'm enabling your crackhead behavior. I don't want you to be a crackhead.
Wow.
I wouldn't do that because I want you to be a cool person. Now you can set it up and I'll entertain it. I'll entertain the rose petals and we'll both fit our big ass in that tub and ain't no water, it's all on the floor and I'll do it for you, but that's not what I think romance is. Romance to me is an egg with just the right amount of cheddar, you know what I'm saying, using your coochie as a pillow and watching my favorite program. But will I watch things I don't want to watch because you want to watch it? Sure I will. Will I entertain your rose petals and your candles? And I'm like, yo, why the hell she got all these goddamn candles? You gonna raid the Dollar Tree? Sure I will. For you. because I like you, but it's for you. I just don't want you to say it's for me. Like I set up a romantic evening for us. No, you set up a romantic evening for you, and you invited me to your romantic evening.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
Dirty Folks, thank you for the honest answer. I actually believe that.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, for you, not for
give
me,
me
but for you.
give me a second. Now, Black David, we've been taking on a journey. Okay. I don't want to know how things are in Africa. Nobody cares about the motherland. But here today, you've heard the conversation.
Not nice.
I know. You should hear the things he says to me, though.
They so mean. They be going back and forth.
Yeah, you should hear the things he says to me, though. Okay, that was a softball compared to what he says to me. Black David, you heard the conversation tonight. What do you have in your country?
You're on mute. You're on mute.
In your country, in my country, in Nigeria, I come from a polygamy background. Okay, cool. I'll leave you alone. First aid back. We I guess we've had I thought this was a dope ass panel. I really do. That was a good conversation.
After my brain had been beat up with that conversation, I was like, can I say after
Shout out to J Speed.
I feel like you just went 15 rounds, huh?
yeah. Shout out to J Speed in the chat, the OG.
And Mandrell said my people are crazy.
They are.
I take that back. This one is crazy.
Hey, Black David, I've been to Africa. You know a little about my experience in Africa. Can you blame me for coming? Can you blame me for saying that?
I understand that, but it's like dirty folk country. Where dirty folk came from and go to my country.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird?
Yo, I'll just say this honestly.
Unapologetically.
You hardcore. That'll go straight up.
Like everybody else. Here's the thing about men that I think is weird about men. People think that I'm crazy. This is what I think crazy about men. Men are rational creatures until you add a woman. Then all of a sudden they can't count. They don't have basic life skills. Like they forget everything for a woman. Every day of the week, you'll drive past a dude on the bus stop. Don't pay him no attention. You see a girl on the bus stop, you stop. I have never stopped at a bus stop like, damn, dog, them Jordans fresh as hell. You need a ride somewhere? But you do it for girls all the time. I have never been in a situation.
That just comes to show you the power of a woman. So
I get that, but they don't have no. I get that, but I mean, the clothes on, I'm not impressed.
And even this, you gotta give it to the men. Men set up society. Men set the standards of society.
And I agree with that. And I'm trying to make a paradigm so men.
And here's the thing too. Men set up society, right? So in society, the man's role, the man's position is to provide, right?
I agree with that.
The men, y'all set this up now. A woman is always supposed to be provided for from birth to death.
Can I ask you a question?
When a woman grows up from a girl, she grows up to be an adult. She goes from her father's protection and provision to the hands and the house of her husband, his protection and provision to the rest of her life. A woman is always provided for. So the whole idea, the concept of take care of me, do for me, y'all set that up.
No, Shushu, I agree with that. You see the aspiring slave owner. Nobody looks after their slaves like the person that puts them in a slave quarter. I pay for everything. Here's the thing. What's lost, because black women listen to old black women and old black women are dumb. What's lost is what's women's responsibility to that social contract. I agree with the provide and protect. What's women's responsibility to social contract? And since women don't know their responsibility to social contract, I'm telling you, and everybody think I'm nuts because they raised by black women and matriarchy is slavery, so they think I'm dumb because they slaves. But I'm telling you that you're violating the social contract.
How are they violating the social contract?
Well, the hierarchy is the man, the woman, and then the children. So the woman is to submit to the man. I do believe in that. I was raised with my parents. I was raised with seeing marriage. So I do agree. Like I said, there are some things that I do agree with you on. And then there are just little things where I just don't agree. But I do agree that there is a hierarchy, and you have to follow that hierarchy and the order. You do need order in a relationship.
The hierarchy, since y'all talking about black relationships,
let me tell you
man, woman relationships.
Let me tell you something, because this conversation had me thinking so hard, like my brain going 300 miles an hour. I'm like, you know what? Let me be frank. Dirty Joke do have some solid crazy point, even though it's out of order, but it's in a level whereby there is a cultural chaos going on in today's society. Because we have all this matter that's going on today and the Western world. If you do your homework, you ask your grandparent or your great grandparent or your great great grandparent, the society had back then is different from what we have now. For him to speak in that type of tone, that type of mindset, it said that he was raised about a man, not about a woman, which is totally correct. Because living in Brooklyn, New York, a lot of guys who raised by a single mom have that similar, I hate to say this, feminine mindset about catering to a woman. I was raised in a two-parent home before they got divorced. I was a one individual. I didn't kiss after nobody. I was all about structure and order. So if my mom actually do something I know in the back of my mind is not right for me as a male child to be doing, I'm not going to do it. I get a lot of pushback or I got punished for it, yes, I could care less. Because I understood if I practice the type of mindset, it's going to affect me down the line in the future. I've seen a lot of so-called fake manly men in the church that say a happy wife, a happy house, and I look at them in the face like, are you kidding me? And you in the church, and you call yourself a Christian. What did the Bible say about that type of mindset? So now, I can't be Black David. I had to be Black Vicious David, like I did earlier today, but without the rage. When it comes to negotiate, I understand what this whole competition is all about, how to negotiate concerning the relationship. A lot of time, men have not tried to negotiate what they expect from a relationship. They decide to see, what, let me just go with her and see if she could change. Fellas, don't wait for her to change. Before you sign that contract, aka that covenant, aka that marriage certificate, find out what she willing to do and not to do. Whether I'm saying that right now. A lot of our OGs jump in the mat without negotiation, hoping that the woman will chat along the line. When they find out the wife is the banshee, two things can happen. Either they divorce the banshee and walk away, or they deal with it because they have children in place. You remember Ekene said he took on my show, our mindset as a Nigerian, if we get a woman pregnant, that's our wife. We got to make sure that child is well protected. In other words, we as Nigerian African fathers will not walk away from our marriage and leave our child to be with a woman who will brainwash our child to be something really stupid. So that being said, if we have to be there to make sure we protect our children from the mental psychology that woman will put on a child, I will be the barrier and the barrier breaker. Meaning, I'm not going to allow you to reprogram my kid to be a certain way so at the end of the day will be a reflector of who I am as a person. I'll be consistent like a broken record player, making sure my son or my daughter understand the structure and order that need to be in place in their life so that not only to be better, they have to surpass me. A lot of guys don't want to deal with a woman because, yes, she's a banshee, she's out of control. They send them to the mental ward, which I've seen a lot of guys in Brooklyn in the hospital, mental hospital. Some guy will not wait for that and decide to TKO the woman and they go to jail for that.
Okay.
This is why we have a greater society. So I had to speak the honest, blunt, unfiltered truth.
So
the Western.
So
no, I haven't finished.
What's the point that we're getting to, Blake David?
I'm trying to put it this.
Okay.
If you come to a relationship, a guy will have to think about the pros and cons, whatever he's dealing with. If it's worth being in a relationship with that woman or not, that's one.
Okay.
Two, we gotta look at the short-term and long-term goal. What you want to gain from this relationship? Three, did I ask yourself, is she worth his mental health to be sabotaged? I live in Brooklyn. There are about 3 hospitals nearby me. And a lot of these guys who went in the type of crazy relationship and they get stressed out, I see it on the street. Truth in Manhattan, I'm in Brooklyn. It's more crazy out here on this side of the next road. So you can imagine what men go through. So I understand about negotiation. Problem is, not a lot of guys were taught that because they were raised by single mothers.
Thank you, David. Now, moving on to final thoughts. Jedi Mike, are you still there, Mike? Okay. Okay, Mike. I think Mike turned the TV on or something. But
it's SpongeBob. Yo.
You know, I've never seen that.
Oh, really?
Like ever.
Okay. How old are you?
Because you don't have kids.
Yeah, I don't have kids. So I mean, it's...
Family Guy.
Yeah, I watched Family Guy.
Okay.
See, I just saw a joke on Family Guy. It was funny. It was like a bartender was talking to Quagmire's dad, who's like transgender, and so he said, "Hey, I'm sorry, you can't watch porn in the bar." He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm transgender. Oh, I'm sorry. You can do whatever
It's not whatever you want it because it's transgender, right? You do what you want. Precious, I've watched a lot of Family Guy. That's fun. Family Guy is funny. But Mike, final thoughts on tonight's topic. Now that I'm awake again. Mm-hmm. What you got for us? Shit.
You're bad, man, Mandrell. Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought this was a good panel and everything. Good conversation for most part, and stuff. But as I said before, the best teachers you can find what not to do are on these panels. And after today, my point is stand. Good night, y'all.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much. One of the best students I ever had, Jedi Mike. Yes, easily coachable, and a good man.
He is.
Got to give credit where credit is due. That man deserves his flowers.
Oh,
and I'm going to give them to him every time I see him. Good job, Mike. Salute to you.
Right.
Corey Hager.
Yes, sir.
What's up, family? Final thoughts. What do you? What's up, man?
Well, all I could say for the young men on the panel, regardless of age, because it's a mindset, try not to let the little head control your life. It'll steal your life in one way or another. You're supposed to use your brain, not your blood pressure, whatever you want to call that. Try to control the beast instead of feeding it.
Right.
It's okay to be a monster, but have some self-control. It's funny to hear young folks talk about being with one person or however many it takes to keep them happy. But when you get older, you want to find a woman and you want to take her shopping so she can pick out the chair that she likes the best, so she can put it in your living room to where she's the most comfortable in her chair that she chose, not in a chair that you've had multiple women in. I mean, who wants leftovers? I don't expect my
When's the last time you slept with a virgin? You always have leftovers.
I don't expect my future wife to enjoy leftovers or to be in a chair where hundreds or so have been before her. That's too much user friendly for me. Wow. Anyway, but no, I mean, and as far as romance goes, when you look at all the classics that have been written all through the millennial, men have wrote all of the romantic classics.
That's true.
They have. As a Christian, the Bible says to love our wife. Okay, so romance is involved in love. Men are the romantic ones. It tells the women to respect their husbands. So who has the higher capacity for romance? Women receive everything from the man.
Except for the sex part, I agree with you.
No. You're a young man. I'm 52. I've already done the run the game thing. I'm far beyond that, bud. But it, like I said, control the beast. Don't feed it. It'll you know, even a horse will eat itself to death. Um, but anyway, this has been one hell of a show, I gotta say. And I'll just leave it there.
You're quite welcome, Corey, on my triumphant return. I was hoping it would be a good show. With me coming back. But I also hope people learn something. You know what I'm saying? And people in the chat have been asking me, Mandrell, why'd you have dirty folks saying this? You have to have someone with an opposing point of view. Everyone doesn't think alike. You know, so you have to hear the man's point of view, whether you agree with it or not. If you disagree with it, that's even more of a reason for you to listen to him and hear what he has to say. You know, and your reasons are your reasons, but you do need to hear the opposing point of view because there's something to learn there. Whether you maintain your position and disagree and choose not to take anything from him, or listen, he said some stuff in here that was true. Some stuff I agree with, some stuff I disagree with. You have to give credit where credit is due, people. And don't, just because you hear a couple of things you disagree with, don't throw out the man's entire perspective.
Right.
You know, take what's useful, apply it to your life. The rest, then you can dismiss that. It's called chewing the meat and spitting the bones. Now, dirty folks, final thoughts.
No, I'm a cam up. I'm a cam up for it.
You a cam up for it?
Cam up.
Okay, with his crayons in the background and whatnot.
Right.
I don't even know what my background is. That's crazy. Hold on. I need to probably make sure I got my crayons.
Yeah, we can't see anything. It's just black.
Yeah, I know. I ain't got no crayons today.
Okay.
Find some crayons. I can't find no crayons. I ain't gonna worry about it. So I'm a cam up. I'm a cam up.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
I'm mad at the background, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, man. You can find my nobody since the greatest generation, silent generation, civil rights generation, whatever you want to call them, has vetted a woman. Baby boomer men dressed with panties outside their pants and called it androgynous like they were some DC comic superheroes running around like Cameo, making single moms, then marrying single moms and creating blended families. They didn't vet their girls. Gen X, only 9% of Gen X is married. Check the stats. So everything that people are saying is what makes a woman happy. And girls can't be happy. Happiness is a fleeting emotion. All emotions are fleeting. Nobody's happy or mad or something all the time. When it comes down to it, it comes down to the task and duties that's in this relationship handbook. And nobody's been taught how to vet. All that I said is, listen, after all the pomp and circumstance, this is what I need out this relationship in order for her to get what she's in accustomed to out of relationships. They've been getting what they want. They've been turning down 2 marriage proposals in their 20s to complain about no good men in their 40s. They've been doing that. They don't not know a good man. They only as faithful as their options. They got too many options. The only person that girls are loyal to is their employer. And employers negotiate tasks and duties, salary, raises, promotions, titles. Marriage is a title. The ability to be like, my husband said, is a benefit of a title. This is what they have to do in order to get the title. People think it's crazy for men to love himself enough to want something out the relationship too. This is crazy. I don't care about her getting a chair in my house. I got a chair for her. It's gonna be a pink chair. I'll buy 50 pink chairs for 50 different employees. I'm still gonna love that chair because the ergonomic chair is the secretary of my life. She still got to do this data entry to get in this goddamn chair. If not, we just having sex. It's just cool. If sex all you got, you know, sex ain't all I want unless sex all you got, but if sex all you got, that's cool. The reason that romance is a man's thing because only men love. And that's why men require respect, but I think that women are lacking in that. The thing about all men writing romance novels and romance music and movies, I think I need you to go back and listen to the lyrics. It's a bunch of I'm sorry, baby. I'll do better, baby. I love you, baby. I drink your bathwater, baby. He found 4 homies there in the background. Ooh, while he begging for pussy from baby. It's never like, yo, I love you enough for me to love myself. Do you love me too? Because this is what I need in order to feel loved. It's take. And once somebody says, yo, I like to get something out this too, it's, oh my God, this motherfucker crazy, man. He must not love women. He must not respect his mother. He's never felt love. I had girlfriends before. It's just crazy to me that men can't want something out of relationships. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's my closing thoughts on that.
Shout out to Dirty Folks.
Thank you, Dirty Folks. My husband said.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't ready for that one. That was good.
My husband said.
Let me get my final thought out of it quick.
I thought you did.
I didn't do it.
Oh my God.
Okay, no problem.
Let me get my final thought.
Okay,
fellas, before you get in a relationship.
You got 20 minutes to get your final thoughts out.
No, it ain't no 20 minutes. Don't play me, okay?
Okay, so you still want your usual 2 hours?
Let me get my... Don't stop.
Okay.
Fellas, before you get in a relationship, make sure you have a mentor or two who have been married for more than 20 or 30 years. Let you know what it's like to be married. Make sure you get a list. Something I told one of my young brothers here on the panel. Write out what you expect in a relationship. What are your do's and your don't? What are your deal breakers? Make sure you look at it over. Bring it to your mentor to see if it's realistic or not. Whatever woman you're going to deal with on a long-term basis, you need to have that conversation beforehand before you get to a relationship with them. Why? There could be something that you're willing to follow and something you may not. If for the sake of your mental health, trying to negotiate properly. Don't go overboard with it. Just ease her into it. She's not ready to go with your program. Just cut your lot and then keep it moving. Not worth putting yourself in a relationship that will dry you out mentally. Because I lost an uncle who was a soft-spoken person. His wife with a bad sheet. He took all the beating, did not say a word. Took all the abuse, did not say a word. Got the degree, did not say a word. It led to his death. He died about 5 minutes away from his home from a heart attack. That's why I learned from his mistakes. But before you get in any relationship, write down what you want to look for in that relationship, what your expectation you have from the particular relationship. Talk to your mentor who have been married for 20, 30 years. Ask them, are these things realistic? He'll walk you through these things. Show all you do that you don't. So before you get in a relationship, you need to be prepared for it. Yes, you had to negotiate, you had to compromise. It's understandable. But don't sell yourself short so that you get in, you regret. I'm going to say.
Thank you, National Geographic.
You know where
I appreciate it so much. Hey, you're here when he shoots me.
I'm married. You're not. So
yeah, that's true. You got me there.
Hey,
you got me. Hey, that shots fired. See what I'm saying? You see how hard he hits?
Yeah.
I'm throwing softballs, but then he does that. No one says a word, but me, Mandrell. Don't do that, Mandrell. You're being so mean.
I take a lot of heat from everybody. So this is my point.
Did you hear what he said?
Right.
But no big deal. You know what, y'all? It's okay. I'm back now. It's all right. I love you anyway. All of you. Okay, you know I'm lying. I don't love all of you.
I was going to say, now, come on, walk that back.
Right, I really don't. I really don't love all of you. No. No. So thank you. Now you can pull everyone back down, Blake David.
I just want to say thank you, Black David. We appreciate you for being in the show.
That doesn't mean stop work. That doesn't mean stop working. Listen and work. Keep going. Thank you, Black David. I swear, you pay a guy a salary, you think you get a better performance than that, wouldn't you? So I mean, you know, just say it.
That's why people don't want to come into work.
Right? Right?
Lord.
Shoot, Go ahead. What you saying?
I said it's because of you. They don't want to come into work, but they know what they're dealing with. So
Oh, it's not that they pick. Listen, they pick at me first, Precious. You just they pick at me, and I think they do it just to get a reaction.
They be going back.
And so what they let the crowd see my reaction, but the crowd doesn't see. Like tonight, you were here, so no one said anything in the private chat for real. They really didn't. But any other night, read that private chat and see the stuff they say to me.
Well, I would like to say, welcome, Precious, to Unapologetic Woman.
Yeah.
I might have to come back. I might have to come back.
Yeah, hopefully this is
disclaimer. Listen, be careful over here because you will end up a whole meme over here. Okay,
I'm telling you,
everybody over here got a meme somewhere. So, but we hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I did.
Thank you for coming. Hopefully, hopefully this ain't your last time. Hopefully, it's not your last time.
No. I'll be back.
Awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, final thoughts. What are your final thoughts, Real Precious?
My final thoughts are, I really like Chris Voss's videos. I'm definitely going to look into that. I'm going to look more into, what he does and, what he teaches. Because it honestly reminds me of like sales training. It reminds me of that. But I think that with relationships, we have to get better with one, again, being real with ourselves, and two, just communicating in general. It sounds weird. It may sound a little corny, but talk to yourself. Talk to yourself and be real with yourself. Like, girl, you tripping today. You wasn't supposed to do X, Y, and Z, because when other people tell you the truth or when other people come to you in truth, you hearing it won't be such a shock to you. We can say things to ourselves and we can know things within ourselves, but we don't necessarily hear it. We don't hear other people saying it to us. And so it's just our little secret. It's what we got going on. We don't share it. Talk to yourself. Get to know yourself. And when people come to you in their truth, listen. Simply listen and let them know that you understand what they are saying. I hear where you're coming from. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't realize that. I think a lot of times we just don't know the language to use. We don't know the verbiage to use. And so we just get caught up in not saying anything. And I think that's the worst thing you can do, not say anything. I don't believe that you should I think that you should have your spouse, but I don't think that your spouse is a person that you tell 100% of things to. And when I say that, I mean there is a capacity that men hold of hearing what's going on with their wife. And that's just my dad wasn't the well that my mom went to every single time she had an issue or she wanted to talk. He was there to fix problems. He was there to provide. He was there to protect. I remember getting older. My mom's like, look, I'm not talking to you as a daughter. I'm talking to you as a friend, because she couldn't go to her husband, and then there were probably other people that she went to talk to when she didn't want to tell me things because I am her daughter. So I think that being able to have those outlets, being able to communicate with other people leaves concise and precise communication when it comes to your relationships. And thank God I was able to see it. Thank God my dad is a deacon. So I was also raised in a church. I think spirituality plays a huge role in relationships too, just because if that relationship with God should be your foundation before you're with anyone. So having that and having an example really helps. And when you don't have those examples, then you do have to seek after it, because negotiate. what's that? What we negotiating? It's about me. Or it's all about me. If you ain't giving me what I want, then I'm not happy. And that's usually how people act when they don't see marriage, when they don't see two people compromising, when they don't see conflict resolution being, played out in front of them, when they don't see people still loving each other, although they may not be on the same page with one another. When you see that play out, you know that it's possible. And you know that you also have I think somebody talked about like wife school and things like that. Like, I don't need a wife school. I have my mom and dad. You know what I mean? They were the example. And like Shushu said, you go from one covering to another. So the things that you compromise is like a lot of things I won't compromise because the covering I'm under is like, you know what I mean? It's full protection. So when you know that you can compromise with someone where you're both still protected and you both still are, you have your individuality and you come together and bring each other's good and bad, and it still blends and you're still able to talk to each other the next day. I think, negotiating, you get what you don't negotiate, but when you do negotiate, it can be beautiful. It can still work even though you're mad. It can still work even though you're not, seeing eye to eye. All those things can still work, but it's not going to work if you're not being honest with yourself. Because the moment you stop being honest with yourself is the moment you start lying to people. Man, those are my closing words.
Right.
Thank you, Real Precious. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Shoo, did you do your final thoughts?
No.
You did not.
No.
What are your final thoughts about tonight?
Part of negotiation the whole time was listening. You ain't listening.
Damn, you on me already like that?
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I listen to you talk every day.
The whole show, and you ain't listening.
I listen to you talk every day, man. Every day. You don't listen to anything I say. I'll tell you, hey, look, here's the thing. Right, people, let me tell y'all something. Listen, I'll call my sister. What's wrong? Not feeling well today. What's wrong? You sick? Nah, just kind of down. Got the blues. Yeah, well, just go out there, and give it 110%. And,
that's right.
You just got to prove that you want it more than they do when the chips fall where they may.
That's right. That's right.
What? I'm like, what?
Give it all you got. It's all right. It'll be all right.
Right. And it should say that. Give it all you got. Give what all I got. Ain't you at work? No, I'm done.
Listen, you call me for emotional support, okay? I'm supposed to be helping uplift you, not bring you down lower, okay? So what am I supposed to say? F your feelings.
You do say that.
Well, sometimes Shushu, you gotta meet people where they are. Sometimes you gotta meet people where they are. So sometimes you fly too high for them.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Don't ever think that.
So sometimes meet him with that same, pessimistic attitude that he has and see if he likes it.
That's right.
I do not. I really don't.
Well, what makes you think we do? What makes you think we like it, Mandrell?
I didn't say you did like it. It's just,
well, why are we subject to this?
Well, here's the thing. For me, it doesn't take a lot for me. It really doesn't. Hey, listen, am I going the right way with this? Here she is. I don't know, kinda. Like, and I'm just like, seriously, like she'll know the answer, and she does it just to mess with me. She does it on purpose.
No, that's not true.
And then when she's ready, when she's ready to get off the phone, when she's ready to get off the phone, she's had her fun.
You are looking for me to make a choice for you sometimes, and it's not for me to make the choice for you. It's for you to make the choice.
Now, here's what I do. I'll call her up
and
with a
what
situation.
I do is I reiterate what it is you said to me, okay, and then I ask you, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you think? Because at the end of the day, it's really not about what I think or about what anybody else thinks. It's about what you think. Because at the end of the day, whether you go right or you go wrong, at least you can live with the fact that you made the choice because that was what you wanted to do.
That's what I wanted.
Because I told you to do that or somebody else told you to do that, you made the choice. So,
well, first of all, whenever I take your advice and it didn't go the way I like it go, I never blamed you for it. I just like, it didn't work.
Right.
And you know that's how I take things. If I take your advice and it doesn't work, I'm not going to come back to you and say, "Oh, it didn't work." And see, it's you. You're no. And I do the same thing with myself too. Oh, look at that! It didn't work.
Back to final thought. Look at you getting all
back to final thoughts. You just gave yours, didn't you?
No, he still ain't listening, Lord.
Still ain't listening. He still ain't listening.
I listen to you,
ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all once again for joining us. Please don't be like my brothers sit up here and not listen, because one of the points of the important parts of negotiating is listening. Active listening.
Dirty folks
understanding what it is that your counterpart wants.
Dirty folks came
knowing and understanding what it is, especially in a relationship. Knowing, first of all, letting your partner know that they're heard, that you hear them and you understand where they're coming from. Everybody, to be understood is the main point. Everybody wants to feel understood. Mm-hmm. So, understanding where they're coming from and having empathy also. Knowing what your standards, your values, where you are, like what you're willing to, I would say, compromise and what you're not. And what I mean compromise, is a give and take. In every negotiation, every relationship, everything, there's a give and a take. So you can't be the one doing all the giving, and you also can't be the one doing all the taking. You have to give something and also take something away. It's a concept of flow. It's a two-way street. It's flowing back and forth, back and forth. I'm giving, they're giving. I'm taking, they're taking. That creates harmony. It creates a balance. And usually, when things are one-sided, that means that harmony and balance is things are out of harmony. They're out of balance. They find a way to get back to that point. And usually the biggest thing is a common ground. When you're negotiating with someone, or especially in a relationship with your partner, you want to find a common ground, because you want to come to an understanding and an agreement. So, be able to be open, and a lot of times be able to be vulnerable. People are so afraid to be vulnerable. People hold back, and people don't just be honest because they're afraid of being judged and they're afraid to be vulnerable. You can't be vulnerable with your partner. You with the wrong one. You got to be able to open up. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you can't move forward. You can't progress that way. So don't stifle yourself, and don't cheat yourself out of having a good relationship. So that's for both men and women. So
I agree.
I agree with that. Don't cheat yourself out of having a good relationship. A lot of people cheat themselves out of it, largely out of fear. And it's fear of the unknown. Like, they don't know how it's going to go. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's the other person on the other side of the relationship feeling the same way. They're just as unsure as you are. Right. But they're confident in what could be and what they're going to do to make this happen.
Yeah.
So when it comes to negotiations, you definitely have to have your deal breakers. Like Precious said, talk to yourself. Yeah. Figure out what your deal breakers are. Figure out where your limits are. And the only way to find out what those are is to test them. So get your deal breakers together. Sit down and talk to people about those deal breakers. And if things that don't make you feel good, talk to your partner about that too. Because if he doesn't know what your pain points are, if he doesn't know what your stress points are, he doesn't know to avoid them. He doesn't know not to bring them up. Okay, ladies, you gotta talk to him, because a lot of y'all just ain't talking to nobody except the wrong people. And fellas, oh Jesus, we need prayer. All right, I'm gonna try this, fellas. Head of household is just a position. Okay, it's not a lordship. You're not a monarch. It's just a position of authority, yeah. But you can't look at your wife and your kids as subjects in your kingdom. I've heard this quite a few times. That's the point I'm going. I've heard guys take it that far. You know what I mean? I'm just like, all right, look. Nah. They don't have to do what you say just because you did it. Just because you said it. If you, for example, if I'm with someone, I say, hey, I need you to go over here and take care of that. And she says, yeah, but if I do that, some bad shit's gonna happen. I need you to tell me that. I need you to tell me that, okay? I don't need you to do it just because I told you to. I need you to tell me when you see me going left. Don't just go left with me just because no, that's not serving anybody any good. And I met women who do that. I've never dated any of them, but I've seen them do that for their boyfriends or their husbands. I'm just like, and then when something happens in a relationship, I don't know what to do. Of course you don't. You allowed this guy to keep you from going to school. And you remember Tara and Shannon? Yeah. That situation. Yeah. Fellas, you know, it ain't what you think it is. Okay? Your wife is
I don't know. If he's a good leader, if he says go left, I'm going left. Like what?
I get it. But what I'm saying is if you see that if you see something in his blind spot, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm with somebody, I'm counting on you to keep an eye on my blind spots. I'm gonna keep an eye on yours too. So if I'm telling you to do something and it's in my blind spot, I don't see it. I need you to bring that to my attention. Now I can still tell you to go left, but instead of going just straight go left, watch out for this, that, and the other then. Or when you run into this obstacle, this is how you circumvent it. This is how you get rid of that obstacle. I can figure out more stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying there. I think sometimes men have to, as leaders, do have to make those decisions, and sometimes you do have to fail. And that's not always up to the woman to say, hey, I told you so, or you should have listened to me, or, you know, look, if this is what you're saying doing. I agree. If she sees something clear as day to bring out that you're clearly not seeing, if you're able to communicate that and you know, be able to say, okay, I consider what you're saying. But I think most times, you know, I just think that men should take that leadership role. And within leadership, sometimes comes failure. You know, that is part of being a leader. You know, being a leader, leaders most times has failed so many times that now they're the best at what they do. Yeah. So, you know, I think that there's a healthy balance there. But I would say sometimes less is more for women, because then he'll see that, wow, she ain't even say anything about this. She, you know, she ain't really get up in arms, or there was no argument. She didn't try to tell me what to do. And he can actually love you. You know, men are called to love, women are called to respect, love you in a different way that is just between you two, because he knows that you respect him in that manner to make those decisions. So I think that has a lot to do with the vetting process.
It does. But my thing is, I hear guys out here going way too hard. I understand the leadership role and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should lead. Yes, that's your position, but you have to be competent enough to do so.
Yeah.
If your lady's making a decision, you have to be competent enough to say, okay, look deeper. Let's look deeper into this and see the whole thing through as much as you possibly can before you take action. Or if I'm going to take action, you're like, yeah, but did you consider this part here? Yeah, I considered that, and I'm still doing it. Then say, oh, okay, then cool. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Or you brought something to my attention I didn't consider. Now I got to consider that. It's just people just sit there and don't say anything, and they'll watch someone run into a brick wall, never said anything. That's what I'm talking about. You clearly see the guy going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just don't say anything. I've seen people do that too. I'm just like, yeah.
That goes on a lot of places. That goes on in the workplace. You know, you'll be in these board meetings and you can clearly see like something's going on, or there's a fix, or you just have information that would help the situation, and people just will not say anything.
Yeah.
They just won't do it. It's just like, oh, it's not my, not my fire to put out. So I'm not even going to bring any help towards this. And I think that sometimes, it is necessary.
Gotcha. Well, that's our show for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you for coming, Real Precious. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Good seeing you, Shusha.
Hopefully this is not your last time here. Hopefully the panel didn't scare you off.
No, it was a good time. It was fun.
All right. Come back next week, people. We got I got another show for you tomorrow next week. I got the next 2 shows planned.
Alrighty.
So
okay.
Same time,
all right.
same place.
That's right.
All right. No problem. And Dr. Dikembe, next time you got so much to talk in the chat, you're welcome up here, man. Just come up here and say what you gotta say and then get back down. Like, he's been chatting away in that chat, man. I mean, I was like, he could have just came up here and said that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, he could have just came up here.
That's right.
You might be busy. My bad. I didn't mean to call you out, man, but we cool. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Back in there, baby, just stay in the town. I'm on the edge, I ain't coming down. I get too high, I'm afraid of the ground. I'm young and I'm paid to play with these sounds. Ignoring the call, she shutting that gown. Started at the top, and I'm taking it down off the champagne. Took a break from the brown on a rampage. I've been giving it brown. Shawty been solid some time now. On my life for the wine, dine, and I'm with it. Look where we started and look where we at. I can see where we headed, but I can't see me finish. 3 years ago, I was down on my last. Was stuck at the crib, I couldn't get out of my bed. Then I realized it's all in my head, and I can't go back to the past, yeah. Except now I'm moving, put all in the music for more like a movement is brewing. I cannot picture us losing. I'm sharp when I shoot it, the world is my tutor. She wanna lay block in public, but know that I'm published, we settle for safety. Not in the street, but I'm on the same muscle, that schedule been driving her crazy. They talk like they know me, but know that they bluffing unless it's somebody that pays me. Keep minding your business, the money been printed, my nigga just gotta go get it. I'm in the zone through the winter. I'm trying to see Rome, see Venice. I'm at the summit, I'm thumbing my budget, my nigga. It's nothing, just part of my. I need a minute. I know they live it, admit it. I'm teed up. Live